Topic of immigration has been a rather polarizing one in today's political climate. With the increase in political turmoil in other countries, there has been an influx of immigrants from all corners of the earth coming to America. Many people have welcomed them with open arms, while others are worried about what this means for real Americans. Take from that what you will. Although this seems more like a 2022 issue, when studying American history, it becomes glaringly obvious that this has been an issue since the day this country was founded. When the Ellis Island Immigration Station opened in the late 1800s, along with the passing of more lax immigration laws, a huge surge of Asian and Eastern European migrants came to the U.S. This sparked a lot of controversy in the more conservative folks. Many of these concerns are outlined in Thomas Bailey Aldrich's poem, Unguarded Gates, in which he expresses his concern on the effect of foreign influence of immigrants on the physical and cultural aspects of the U.S. Aldrich first begins with a biased description of the U.S. and its people. He describes America's cities, forests, and fields of living gold, its majestic rivers, and lands full of red roses. He even goes as far as to allude to the Garden of Eden when describing America's beauty. Describing America's landscape in such a way is meant to elicit a patriotic response in Aldrich's audience. They are supposed to be proud that America has such prepossessing sights from sea to shining sea. Aldrich goes on to note that all of America's pleasing physical aspects for about 14 lines. Then he begins to describe the immigrants' foreign landscapes. He calls the Huang Ho, which is a main river in China, also known as Yellow River, a featureless figure. And that's it. That's the only physical foreign feature that Aldrich references. When compared to the 14 lines that were dedicated just to America, it is conspicuous that Aldrich is attempting to belittle the immigrants' homelands in order to convince America's citizens that they are more advanced and civilized than these foreigners. Aldrich also attacks the ethics, morals, and beliefs of foreigners. He first praises the honor and humility of Americans and implies that Americans are more hardworking and fairer. He highlights how even the men in dungeons, or in other words, prisoners, have this vision of work ethic and fairness unto the law, brightening in their eyes. He then refers to immigrants as a motley throng that bring their unknown gods and rights to America. He expresses his concern at the strange tongues he will hear in streets and alleys. Aldrich first establishes Americans as having more superior morals than the immigrants through his praising diction, and then shifts to a more alarming diction to cause concern in the American population about the strange and seemingly dangerous values that these immigrants are bringing to America. Aldrich's final call to action is seen in the last stanza. He alludes to the fall of Rome by the Goths in order to warn the American people that letting foreigners in will be their demise. Tarfia Faizula's poem, Self-Portrait as a Mango, provides a more modern but relevant perspective of the immigrant experience. Faizula was born in America to Bangladeshi parents, but still maintains a strong connection to her roots. In her poem, she creates an extended metaphor that compares herself to a mango. In Southeast Asia, mangoes are a delicacy and serve as an instantly recognizable symbol of their culture as a whole. Throughout the poem, she references the Bangladeshi jungles jagged with insects and the river's darker thirst. This directly contradicts Aldrich's featureless description of foreign countries. Here, Faizula is proving that her country is not featureless. It is beautiful in its own way. It also has natural beauty. Explicitly, she challenges the egocentric view that many Americans have and highlights how each country has its own beauty. No country is more beautiful than the rest. Implicitly, she is calling for equality between the U.S. and all other countries instead of maintaining the status quo. Additionally, Aldrich reduces immigrants down to stereotypes of their culture and religion. He fails to see them as just individuals, but instead sees them as a throng. Faizula wishes that she weren't just a mango or just a burqa to Americans. Although her culture will always remain close to her heart, she wants Americans to know that her culture is a part of her, but she is not her culture. She wants them to know that she is worth waiting for. Most importantly, she emphasizes that immigrants can be intelligent and they can win spelling bees. They come to this country not to cause its demise, but to become scientists, researchers, politicians, poets, authors, educators, and students. They come here to partake of the privileges that we have, not to take them away from us.